8 hours with Chris Voss sounds like, the thing I've been looking for in my life. On a Sunday, nothing but Chris Voss.
And with that, we're live. Hey, folks, Chris Voss from the ChrisVossShow.com. The Chris Voss Show! And as you were hearing, I have Brian Johnson with me from AC/DC here to talk about his band years with the Australian band AC/DC. Hello, Brian.
Rock and roll. Hey, Chris, what's up? Remember back in Melbourne when we were on stage and then you were backstage? That was awesome.
That was awesome, man. That was awesome. I had all the groupies to myself. So, no, I'm just kidding. It's Brian G. Johnson from the Trust Funnel book.
Oh, shit.
And not quite, maybe, well, I think he's funny and interesting. So, I don't think that's much of a letdown. But, he can tell us about some of his backstage days when he was speaking on the book or something like that. I don't know.
Hey, Chris, it's great to be here, man. Thank you so much. I'm a fan of what you do, and I'm looking forward just to spending a bit of time. So thanks for having me, and we're going to have all kinds of fun, brother.
Thank you. I looked up your name or searched it on Google once. I'm like, I wonder why he uses the G, and then like Brian Johnson came up from AC. I'm like, that explains it. There you go. I have a guy named Chris Voss who's like an FBI guy who's like always on fucking CNN, and I'm just like, kills me with his searches. He finally gave up and started calling himself Christopher. So, where can we find you? Start off on the internet with your plugs. Where can we find the book? Where can we find you on the Twitter, interweb, intertubes?
Yeah, absolutely. So Marketing Easy Street is kind of the site in the brand. So I got a website. You can find me on Twitter at Marketing Easy Street, ST. Not enough characters for the entire street. What else? I'm pretty much on my personal profile on Facebook. I kind of gave up on the page. It's just more fun to hang out on the profile. So look me up, Brian G. Johnson. I'm not the guy from AC/DC, although a lot of people, did I see you back in '76? I'm like, actually, no. Actually, no. Brian Johnson, when did he come into AC/DC? He was probably like 80.
1980, 79.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons for the G. There's actually another Brian Johnson, internet marketer, too. So it's just like, how many people do I mean, Joel Comm laughed. There's Joel. Joel Comm, one. And then it's Brian Johnson. Like, I mean, couldn't my parents be a little bit creative? I mean, what the hell?
The funny thing is I know people nowadays that are internet marketers that they name their kids based on the URL availability.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Anyway, that's where you can find me. You can learn more about the book. We're going to talk about. Chris told me just talk about the book. Hang on, everybody. So we'll talk about Trust Funnel at trustfunnelbook.com.
Trustfunnelbook.com. So be sure to go check it out. You can find it on Amazon too. Of course, you could buy it there. You can buy like 5 copies, give them to your friends.
Very kind. Yes. We went to #1 bestseller, so that was pretty cool.
Nice.
Was a big project. Web marketing, e-commerce, mentorship. Had a nice bestsellers rank. It was.
So basically, you proved what you teach in your book as to how to like really make this internet marketing rock and roll.
People told me that, and I think I was so tired by the time I got to #1, and I was like, I'm not sure what they're talking about, but it sounds good.
I can't feel my face!
That's what it was like. It was like there wasn't a lot of sleep for about 10 days, but yeah, absolutely. What's cool, too, is a lot of the stuff in the book, I mean, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this to the public, but just between you and me, Chris, because no one will really know, but a lot of the stuff in the Facebook chapter, I was like writing this, I'm like, I sure hope this crap works good, but it sounds good, so do this. But it did. It worked pretty good because, I don't know, more people keep following me and they like the zaniness and the authenticity and so it's my book was kind of a case study, and then, when I launched it, I just applied what's in the book, like you said, and it worked.
It worked. I've seen it everywhere, and it's been a real hit. So it's awesome. So help us understand what Trust Funnel is about. What it's got on the cover here. Leverage today's online currency to grab the attention, drive, and convert traffic, and live a fabulous, wealthy life. Which sounds good to me.
Yeah. So actually, we can talk about the title, the subtitle rather, and that'll just kind of guide me. So first, leverage the currency. When I got started years ago, Chris, I was an SEO guy. So a lot of the folks, the people, the circle that we run in, Brian Kramer, Joel Comm, these people, like I was chatting with Brian Kramer, and I was on his podcast, and he said something about LinkedIn, and I'm like, oh, I don't have a LinkedIn account. He's like, what? How can you not have a LinkedIn account? And my answer was, well, when I got started in 2000, there was no Facebook, there was no LinkedIn, there was no YouTube, there was no Twitter. It was like if you wanted to make money online, you kind of had 2.5 choices, and one of them was SEO. So I learned how to launch websites. And back in the day, the currency, the way you got traffic, is you basically fooled a very stupid robot. You know, Google algorithm was controlled by a very dumbed-down robot, and you just learned what this robot wanted, and you created a website based on what the algorithm wanted, and all of a sudden you had all kinds of traffic. And that was really the game for many, many years. It's just really giving Google what they wanted, and you could win. However, about 2 or 3 years ago, everything changed. I don't know if you remember, you probably do, like with the panda and the penguin, and entrepreneurs are running around like they're on fire, and my business is totally over with. And basically what happened is, like, Google grew up and the algorithm grew up, and today that algorithm is still in place. It's still a robot, but what powers it is people. It's you, it's me, it's what we do on these websites, it's what we do on Twitter and Facebook. It's the trust that we build up, and the algorithm is really is kind of like being powered by you and me. So no longer can you just try to fool a dumb robot. It doesn't work. And that's what my book is kind of really all about. It's identifying that, you know, what worked 100 years ago in business and establishing relationships and valuing other people is so important today. And I think so many people get inundated by the technology, and they focus on, like, what's the best button to push, and what's the thing I do on Facebook to, like, get the people to like me and drive a lot of traffic. And it's like, if you can stop and really identify the way to get results is just to develop relationships with people, you'll go very far. And that's why I call it, ta-da, trust funnel, because it's about establishing trust with human beings, and that trickles down to the big sites like Facebook and amzn.to and Twitter and Google. And so that's the beginning, how to leverage today's online currency. The currency is trust.
And, you know, it's interesting the way that it is, because, you know, I grew up from a huge sales background, teaching sales, and really, I mean, one of the things you have to establish if you want to sell something is trust.
Yeah, I mean, people, I mean, it's so cliche, right? It's like, oh, people buy from those they like and those they trust. People listen to those they like, and they buy from those they trust. But it's true. And, you know, I see a lot of people trying to shortcut this, and it kind of saddens me, Chris, because I see so many people, and they're looking for the hack and the loophole, and they go from, like, one shiny thing to the next, one $17 piece of software that's going to, like, create riches beyond their wildest dreams. I can't believe it. I'm like, wake up, for the love of Jesus, baby Jesus, please, because it's just easier too. It's like you don't have to try to figure out all the loopholes. You just be good to people and be yourself. I think one of the things we both do is we kind of figured out, like, you know, I should just be me and go with it, and that really resonates with people.
Yeah, it drives away a lot of my fans, but it works for you. So now, one of the things I've seen a lot, and Joel Comm did the foreword on this. I've heard of him. Is that you've really written the manual that's a step-by-step process that really gets somebody, especially like me, this is all Greek to, where as I read it, I'm going to be able to understand exactly what to do, how to put it into place, and become successful with it.
Yeah, so one of the things I think I brought to the table with this book is, pardon me, is, again, my background is, I've got a pretty solid history with doing what I teach and launching websites and signing up as an affiliate and building a mailing list and then teaching, because basically after I had done that for about 8 years, I kind of felt like I needed to grow up and I needed to do something else, and I wanted to learn something new. And when I first started, I was like, literally, I was selling thousands of Halloween costumes, I was selling web hosting, and nobody knew who I was. So I really had to, when I started releasing my own products and whatnot, I had to like learn how to sell, I had to learn how to build my own brand, and I started to do that, and I really enjoyed the process. And that gave me a lot of practice with creating a membership site and creating like a handbook or a manual. And I had done that time and time again. So when I came time to write this book, I really, the goal was to be able to put something together that told a story, that was engaging, that kept people, you know, hanging on and wanting to learn more about me, but also about how to move forward. So in the beginning, I talk about, you know, some of the things that people struggle with, which is like that shiny object syndrome and bouncing from one thing to the next. And then it's philosophy, like how to really achieve good things. And I think before, you know, you start thinking about like, you know, am I going to do Facebook or Google? You just have to have some basics down, like sacrifice and focus and implementing. And then it's really like get a brand, get a niche, and I take people step by step through the process. And when I wrote the book, and see, this is all I really had to say, but I talked for 4.5 minutes. But all I needed to say really was the fact that I wrote the book like I would create a course and how to move forward and get results. So it's really A to Z. You know, get a brand, get a niche, get a domain, launch a website. This is how to do Facebook. This is how to do YouTube.
There you go. There you go. And it's a good book. I've gotten a lot of people, of course, on our Facebook crew has just loved on it. The internet marketers have loved on it. You've got everything, general tips, video success in here, all sorts of stuff. I think you have some SEO ranking stuff in here, I think, or some link target long phrases, things of that nature.
Indeed.
There you go. And so really cool stuff that you got here. What inspired you to write this?
For me, I've really been a tinkerer all my life. I've always liked to explore, try new things, all kinds of things. Like, for instance, when I was, 8 years old, fire was pretty cool, and I explored fire, and I burned some things down. I'm like, okay, less fire, and then I went on to become a chef, and I tinkered, and I learned about ingredients. And when I got to the internet, it was like one exploration after another, like Facebook, SEO, WordPress, launching a product, and I had never written a book. And basically, I was hanging out with Joel Comm, and we had an afternoon and kind of going over some plans and whatnot. And I told him I was thinking about coming out with a Kindle book called Trust Funnel, and he said, "Well, why don't you do a physical book? I like the plan, I like the hook, I like where you want to go, but go bigger." And I hadn't done it, and I thought, well, I hadn't done that yet, so it sounds like fun, and that was that, So I'm always looking to do something I haven't done, and I'm running out of things, but there still is LinkedIn. So thank goodness for LinkedIn.
You still got LinkedIn and MySpace probably too, really.
MySpace.
They're making a comeback, I hear. I don't know.
Yeah,
or something like that. So the book's out. You're out speaking, doing the tours, all the book tours, all that good stuff. Having fun.
Yeah. I'm just taking the opportunities that life is giving me, and chatting with cool people like Chris Voss, and getting to know Chris. That's you. No, just right in this. Yeah, you.
In the flesh. So what do you see the future of all this sort of trust business, the websites, everything, social media? Any future insights you have that you want to talk about?
Future. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to do that for a minute. What's the future? I think the future is. What's so funny?
It was just great. That was awesome. That was awesome.
Because if you hear the future, I mean, because I have the brain of
future.
Yeah, see, it's like we have the brains of like 17-year-old boys, right?
What is it? I think it's Conan who has that thing where they see into the future, and they have a voice I can't remember what they do with seeing into the future. The future.
Yeah, see, that was pretty good right there.
Yeah.
You could build a whole show around that, future.
In a world gone mad. So I'm sorry to interrupt you. You were talking about the future.
The future. Oh, Lord. How long will it take until Chris Voss is totally beat red? Ladies and gentlemen, I think we can make it happen in at least the next 37 seconds. Stick around. It's going to be lots of fun. The future. I think the future is really going to be just more of this. I think, less of fooling people, more getting real, more being authentic, more people striving to do good things,
Mm-hmm.
and that's always going to rise to the top. And I think some of the stuff I talked about earlier, as far as like trying to fool Google and whatnot, that's like dying a horrible death right now. Like, you don't want to be in the clutches of that. It's just a horrible place to be. And
yeah, there's a big argument right now if SEO is dead, and some people say it's not. Of course, they have vested interest in it. Some people say it is, and it's an interesting argument people are having.
What do you think?
I'm not deep enough in SEO stuff. I think you're right. I think with what you've been saying, I've seen the people that are out on the limb with what is it, Penguin or whatever it was, all the changes they made. They're like, and then I started getting all the emails from people going, we give you backlinks, you gotta pull the backlinks or else we're gonna get killed by Google. I'm like, well, you're dumbass, should have done it in the first place. And so I've gotten those emails. But yeah, it's obvious that Google's going to keep dialing it in. It's interesting how they fail in social, but they still are working that algorithm for social. So
yeah, absolutely.
I know one new thing that's coming out with, Google's now in a deal again with Twitter where they're putting the Twitter things back into Google search. There was a while there where, I think 3 or 4 years ago, where Twitter told Google to stuff it. And they wanted to close off their little garden, and now they've had to reopen it because no one's using Twitter. So that might be an interesting place where traffic can come from, I don't know, I suppose, in the Google world.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And you kind of mentioned, like, Google keeps trying to make a play at social.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the first social thing they had? What was it called?
Orkut.
Say it again.
Orkut.
Orca?
Orkut, O-R-C-U-T, I think it was.
What was the second?
O-R-K-U-T or something.
How many? Because they have Google Plus, but what was the thing they had before Google Plus?
Orkut.
Oh, I don't even remember that name, but
there's something worth remembering about it.
Like I said, I kind of came to social media really late, and when I really got serious, I kind of decided I'd focus on Facebook. And I haven't gotten over that yet. I just do one thing at a time. But it's interesting what you said about Twitter, and I mentioned Google Plus because it's kind of cool how Google Plus is like the only social network that has PageRank, which doesn't really matter that much anyway, but it does.
Yeah.
And the Google Plus results do show up in Google, so that's kind of cool. And it'll be really interesting to see how, like, Twitter, how that impacts Twitter and Google. And already I can see a whole bunch of like cheap $9 and $17 courses that talk about like how you're gonna like dominate the world and make millions and billions of dollars because
I think we went through that in 2009, 2010. I mean, we still use Twitter as a huge traffic driver, but losing that Google search connection definitely hurt because they couldn't show up in search. But now they've opened what they call the fire hose at Twitter, their API, to Google. And so now Google doesn't have to scrape for those things. They'll be able to have access to them. I think Google should buy Twitter. That's what I would do if I was them.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I think it'd be a really smart move. They were supposed to buy them years ago, and somebody didn't do their job or something. But I think that would be a really smart move because news still travels through Google or Twitter really fast and efficiently. And although, Facebook definitely is nipping at its heels.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, like I said, I came to the social media game late, and I really enjoy it, and it's fun to just to get to know people. Like you and I are a great example of that. I probably because of Joel Comm, I've known Joel for a while, and then I see you're commenting on Joel's thing or vice versa, and I'm like, this Chris seems like a pretty awesome guy. He's like full of life, and and just he's himself, and he likes wine too, so that's got to be cool. And he lives in California, and he's got dogs, and it's like that was it. It's like
that was it. You've got some beautiful poodles.
I do, yeah. It's great having dogs. Like I'll tell you the story of how I got my dog. So my dad went into retirement, and I was at home. I've been self-employed since 2003, and he had just gotten a standard poodle, and he wanted to go out golfing during the summer. So instead of keeping the dog in a crate all day because she was a puppy, he'd drop off Chloe at my place, and I'd take care of the dog. And it was like I would take the dog out for walks, and I'd go outside because I had to for the dog. Like, it's terrible how guys cannot take care of themselves. It's like, I'll just sit in this cave, and I'm going to make millions of dollars in front of the screen. I'll never leave. And that was kind of me. I was just like, it was either video games or building websites to dominate the world, one click at a time. But then I had this dog, and I would just go out with the dog, and I really loved having a dog around. And I know you can understand, like my wife works, so it's just me at the house a lot. Yeah. And it's so nice to have a companion. So then we got Otis, and now we just got Olive, and having two of them is like, oh my gosh, it's just a whole nother level of crazy.
Yeah, it definitely is, especially with the one being a puppy. That definitely will do it for you. So who's the target audience for Trust Funnel? If I'm looking at this book, who's this targeted to?
Right. So this book is written for people that want to get started online and they want to make money, or it's for those same people that have been doing it and they're having some success and they want more. And again, this is something where there is an awful lot of ideas and content, and I mean, I'm not going to tell you that. I just did, but I mean, so have a lot of other people. Like Chris, you said the same thing. Like, wow, this really is. It's almost like a handbook. There's so many details and stuff.
I've seen everyone reviewing it from our circles and people that are internet marketers, people that can read. I can't read, of course. I went to public school. So I was looking mostly for the pictures in it and pop-up things, but. No, but a lot of people have given us great endorsements and real thumbs up, and I think it's a good read. Especially, I intend to sit down and read it and just understand this whole world of what I should be doing to make some more money.
Well, it's interesting when you say that, Chris, and I think this is a point that this interview will allow us to get across to the audience together, and that is. You've mentioned to me a number of times, like, it's kind of all Greek to me, Brian, like affiliate marketing and launching sites and whatnot. It's not my forte. And at the same time, I came on and just being open, authentic, and honest, which always bodes well for good things. I'm like, I don't have a LinkedIn account. I use my Twitter now and then, but I'm big on Facebook. I really get building a mailing list. I understand affiliate marketing. And there's so many things that we can all do to move forward and get results and to make money. And I think it's just really important to focus and understand what you want to do and how to get started. And in the beginning, a great way to do that is to do some research, but be really clear on the fact that you want to make up your own mind and you want to figure it out for yourself so you can really have a direction and you can align with people that are doing what you want to do. When I started writing my book, I listened to Joel Comm a lot. He's a guy that's written numerous books. He's a New York Times best-selling author. That's something I'd like to do. And I shut the heck up. And it's like if he says something, I listen. Now, I'll also tell you that if Joel Comm has told me 10 things, I probably follow up and do 8 of them. And I might not do them all because I am me. I get to decide what I want to do and how I want to roll forward. But just really identifying how people want to move forward themselves and deciding for themselves, because honestly, I think this is something a lot of people don't do. They never have a goal, they never know what they want, and they just kind of like drift through life, and that's not where you want to be. So you don't have to know it all, you don't have to learn it all, you just have to be good at a few things,
Order the book on amzn.to, Trust Funnel and stuff. Anything else we want to cover on the book before we leave our listeners to go to Amazon and order it up?
Just that, anything is possible. And we live in such an amazing place in this space and time where we have this internet. Like right now, like, what's even happening? I'm talking to, like, a screen. And
Yeah.
it's like, it's got video, and it's traveling through a pipe, and it's connecting with you in California, and it's going out to other folks.
I'm in California?
Yeah, you're in California. I'll be here all day.
They never tell me where I'm at.
Oh.
I'm part of the witness protection program.
Whoa.
They move me around a lot.
The future.
The future. I probably should do that.
It's pretty awesome, and we live in a great all day long. We only have 6.5 hours.
Maybe we should do the whole podcast that way. The future. People tune in and be like, "What the fuck is going on, man?"
I'm just glad we sold a copy and a half of this excellent book, because all we talked about was the future.
The future and trust funnel. Oh, and one thing I should mention: this book is dog recommended at all times. My dog ate half of the first copy that Brian sent me. She just shredded it because she loved the book so much. She just had to ingest the knowledge that was in there. So she was very impressed with your book. So it's dog endorsed. I
remember the pictures that you uploaded to Facebook, and I'm like, okay, Chris, this is how it's going to go down. Like, I'm getting another package ready to go, and here comes the second one. I'm like, I need you to keep this at 7 feet above.
I have. It's like always somewhere. It's like Brian's going to kill me if I write him again and be like, my dog ate another book.
But your dog really, let's just make sure everyone understands. I mean, not just ate, but like shredded, like ripped up into a million pieces. Yeah,
she shredded your book. But, you know, I since then she's earned about like, I think she's doing about $1,000 a month right now in internet marketing. So there you go. Not bad. It's kind of hard for her with the paws. You know, she doesn't have the opposable thumbs that she can type very well, but I give her a little help, and she's making money selling doggy treats now, and then we use the money to buy her more doggy treats so that she doesn't eat your book. But you know, after you read Trust Funnel and use it, if you're out of doggy treats, that it's expensive, $10.
Good times. It was a great picture, because let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, when you upload a picture of a dog shredding a book, that's what the kids love on Facebook. They don't want like how-to tips to like live a better life. They want like goofy, silly images. And that was a great one. So that was a lot of fun. A lot of people had a lot of fun with the book. People like taking crazy hair pictures and whatnot, and people taking one of my friends, he took one of his kids and stuck the kid on the toilet, like, you know, a 2-year-old on a toilet, and the kid's got the Trust Funnel, and he's going poo. I'm like, what the heck?
Damn it! I should have done that. Oh.
It's not poo funnel. It's not poo funnel. It's Trust Funnel.
I knew I should have done that. Darn it. That would have been funny as heck. I did the horse head, though. The horse head reading your book.
The horse head is always a classic.
The horse head is always good. Read your book. You know, and I met Brian through Joel Comm on Facebook and stuff. Brian does these really cool things with these memes where he makes of himself, and he's always doing something funny or entertaining in them. And he always has some positive thought that's on the meme and everything. And it's really cool. So if you don't get a chance to follow him on Facebook, you really must follow him on Facebook, because he'll wildly entertain you, and you'll just get a kick of everything. He posts a lot of positive bullshit. I mean, crap, he posts a lot of positive stuff. You know, that kind of stuff. No, he does. He posts stuff in the morning that's like, hey, what a beautiful day. And you're like going, I hate you with your coffee. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, it's a beautiful day. Go fuck yourself, Brian Jones. No, I'm not a morning person. So I'm not a morning. I'm a bear in the morning. It takes me about 2 to 3 hours just to wake up and inject some coffee and stuff like that. So, but if you haven't got a chance to check out his Facebook, you really must follow him on Facebook, because you will be highly entertained, and unlike me, where you'll just be wildly offended.
No, everybody loves you, and you're funny as heck, dude. That's why we get along. We're just different, you know. And it's like, I got my, pixie dust, and I'm riding a unicorn, which, a lot of guys would think, oh, it's like the gay. No, it's like a badass. Like, I could go into battle and, like, take down, like, 1,000 Romans with my, like, unicorn. It would be awesome. And that's me, and you do your thing, and, like, you like to show pictures of, this is another day with Chris Voss, and my huskies just chewed through half of my house, and like dog a 16-foot trench in my backyard. I'm like, I show my wife. I'm like, this is me in the morning. Hey babe, Freya just dug a 16-foot moat around Chris's home.
Our dogs are pretty cool compared to Chris's.
Oh, you're brave to have those huskies, man.
Yeah, they're something. The first 2 years, they definitely are. They really are. There really are some. They're something. But you love them because I don't know. I'm stupid and crazy. But so let's plug the plugs again. Where can we find Trust Funnel? It's on Amazon, and then of course, where can we find you on the web?
This website called Amazon. Now let me spell that for you. That's Z amzn.com. Just type in the word Trust Funnel, you'll find it.
For the love of God, stop it.
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
You are.
I said it, the necktie. Zoolander, I'm sorry, I'm a big Zoolander.
Yeah, that's a great movie. The second one should be interesting. I don't know how they're going to write anything as good as the first, but
they're going to screw it up. They're going to I'm going to be in a corner for 6 months crying. Like, they're going to screw up Zoolander, dude.
They're just going to rehash the whole thing, and you're just going to be like, oh, really? You just, like, the whole plot, everything, it'll just match. And you'll just
I just hope it doesn't totally suck. I mean, if it sucks, I'll be able to deal with that. But if it totally sucks, yeah. I mean, I've, like, done so many, like, you can help millions and millions of tiny beings every day are dying an untimely death. I'm talking about little tiny bubbles. That's right, little tiny bubbles that live in bottles and cans. And you too, friend, can put an end to it. Just say no to carbonated water. I don't know, sorry about that.
No, that's great. Thanks, Brian, for coming on. Be sure to check out the Trust Funnel book from Brian G. Johnson. You can go to his website. What is it, trustfunnel.com? Trustfunnelbook.com. Book.com. And thanks for having you. What's that?
What does it say below me, Chris?
I just had to click on the thing because whoever has the biggest mouth going, Google puts that up on the screen. So it's trustfunnelbook.com. Be sure to order yourself up one. Give one to your friends. Learn how to make money, whether you're doing it part-time or full-time in the internet world, because it certainly beats working a 9-to-5, punching in.
That's true. Chris, thanks for having me. It was a lot of fun. And I like acting like silly and goofy. And you seem to bring that to like a whole nother level, so thank you for that.
We're going to have you on some more podcasts too. Watch for Brian to come on where we're just going to let loose and get stupid and crazy. We don't have to talk about his book or embarrass his book the way we act. So we'll have him on in the future. In a world gone mad. All right, so thanks, Brian. We appreciate it. See you guys next time on thechrisvossshow.com. Be sure to give us a like, subscribe to us on YouTube, and that's it, really. See you. Bye.